Hello and welcome to the Lime Tree Sessions podcast. We're back with episode 2 with a slightly more professional setup this time than the first one. Dr. Charlton over here, a doctor and a sunglasses expert.
Very much Jack's type. He got in the car like been crying.
Well, I had been.
We sort of know what we're doing now. We've got matching mics. The audio's
not
working.
that you can see that, of course.
No, we haven't. We've decided not to video it this time because we're still trying to get used to the audio and stuff. But gentlemen, Lyndon and Scott and Jack, myself are here. And yeah, second episode. I don't know what we're going to call it. Are we naming the episodes? We are, aren't we? Actually, no, we are.
Yeah, we could do.
Because we've named the first one Gig for a Dog.
Gig for a Dog.
Gig
So
for a Dog.
we'll have to think of a title for this one. But
Something will come out in the next hour or so, I'm sure.
Possibly. Lyndon has just woke up and we feel really bad because I got the wrong time when I came earlier.
It's 7 o'clock in the morning as we currently record this.
I mean, it's
not.
It's actually 3.
It's just 3 in the afternoon. It's fine.
We always joke about, because the producer who did a lot of my stuff now lives in America and he's always been on New York time. And Lyndon said the other week, he was like, well, I'm always on New York time. I don't get up till 2, you know.
Yeah, I'm a secret American, really.
Absolutely, yeah. How's your week been? Gigs and what have you?
Gigs have been good. We've had 3 gigs this weekend.
We
2 on
did.
the same day. We had 2 yesterday.
Where have you been?
That's an excellent question.
Saturday was
Doncaster.
Aye.
We were in Doncaster yesterday.
And then No,
Doncaster Saturday.
And yesterday we were in Spennymoor in the afternoon and then Leamington in the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that rough as hell?
No, it was, the area was questionable.
It was
But
a
the club
night,
really
it was
nice.
a good night, wasn't it?
Really, really good club.
I was surprised because when we went in there wasn't that many people, but then the atmosphere, I was like, you would have thought there was double the amount of people there.
Oh,
but
that's
it was
alright.
honestly really nice.
On a
to be
Sunday
honest.
as well.
I know.
Canny?
Aye.
Fair enough.
Yourself?
I just had the one because I've not been very well, to be honest.
Oh, no.
So my throat still hasn't got back to where it should be, to be honest. So I just had the one gig on Friday at TGI Fridays in Eldon Square
Nice.
in Newcastle, which is always a good laugh because we do it as like a duo. And I say duo, it can be anybody who can sit and hit the cajon.
Who was available?
Who was available.
Yeah. Was it Sophie had with you on Friday?
No, Sophie was gigging all weekend actually as well. She was had loads on this week actually. She
Yeah.
did 3 on Saturday, you know.
Really?
Yeah,
3
she did.
Wow.
Sophie's a drummer in the band called the Emerald Thieves, and they did. I'll probably get this wrong, but they did they did a festival down in either Pennywell or Spennymoor. I can't remember which one it was, and then they did Blythe Live on the afternoon.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
and then
I
they
saw
had
it.
and then they had a gig on the night time as well. So anyway,
Wow. Have we
So
ever done 3 gigs in one day? I don't think we have.
We were
Have we?
we were meant to when we were in Liverpool,
Yes.
but luckily one got cancelled because 2's
Was that the day we
quite
played the
sufficient.
Cavern?
Yes.
Aye, it was the live lounge.
We were supposed to play the Pump House on the
Oh,
docks,
the docks,
in the
aye.
afternoon, and luckily enough that got cancelled.
Ah, right.
Because then we were in Frodsham in the afternoon.
Oh, God,
on the night time. So otherwise, 3 I would have been
That would be
very
full on.
dead.
I'm all right for even 2 sometimes, to be honest. It totally depends. Having said that, I do have. In a few weeks' time, I do have 2 on one day, but that's by the by.
Yeah.
It totally depends.
Yesterday was busy, but my voice wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
We were
Yeah.
saying we were got a second wind as the second
Yeah,
gig halfway
it's sort of
through.
we could see the end. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like just push, keep
Yeah.
going.
Do you do the same set?
Yeah, it was the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
It just makes things easy, doesn't it?
it was like
Yeah.
it's
the
the
same
case
thing
of
every...
deja vu though.
Oh
You
yeah.
think I've done this before?
Yeah.
Like literally a few hours ago.
Yeah,
It was good fun.
I know what you mean because I think that would be I think about that a lot because I have done it where I've done a stack gig on the afternoon and then on the afternoon I'll be at a pub or whatever, or sometimes where I've done ones where I've done the drinks reception of a wedding during the day and then a gig at a pub on a night or whatever, and I do find myself going, hang on a minute, oh yeah, I've literally played this very very recently, and and I try and maybe mix it up now and again. However, for TGI on Friday, I played the exact same songs that I always do.
Way aye.
The go-tos.
Absolutely, yeah. You can kind of play what you want though, which is kind of cool. So I may have slipped in a few of my own songs.
How long was your set?
It's 3:45s, but
Oh.
it's really chilled restaurant vibes. So it's not that your phone going
It-
unprofessional.
Don't worry, it's on mute now. It's on mute.
But because it's dead quiet and kind of it's really relaxed and chill, you can kind of I sang everything lower for a start, and
You were saying about doing that.
a lot of loop pedal stuff.
Yeah.
And me and this lad Joe just having a laugh, to be honest with you. It's always a fun one for sure because it's weird as well because it's in a shopping centre, so it's like it's a little bit strange. You know, walking through with your gear and stuff, and like, you know, people giving you funny looks because you've got like a mysterious bag. You could have anything in it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So obviously, just gear. You know, just XLRs
Well, we are
and
musicians,
jackets.
so-
Yeah, copious amounts. You know, but yeah, weekend was all right.
Smashing.
So hopefully, my throat will. I think what we were saying in the car actually. I think the hay fever and pollen and stuff this year has gotten really bad, and that I think that's part of the reason my throat just isn't recovering. I can sing, but like I know I've sang afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean. You can kind of feel
You
it.
were bad the other day.
I
He got in the car, like, been crying.
Yeah,
It was mental.
Yeah,
Well, I had been. I had been crying and rubbed my eyes. My eyes were just watering. My nose was all runny. It was because I only got hay fever like a couple of years ago. I sort of developed it, and then it's this year. It's just been.
this is the medical section of the podcast.
It is indeed.
Yeah, this is where we talk about what's wrong with
Dr.
us.
Charlton over here.
There's loads of antihistamines.
Yeah. I mean, you're meant to take one a day. I always forget. Like, I don't think I've
Same.
ever taken them the same day.
Or you remember halfway in the day, and it doesn't really kick in until later
It's
on.
too
and
late
it's just
by
pointless.
that point, isn't it?
Exactly. I was at my friend's the other day, and like this was like later in the afternoon, and I spent most of the day indoors. And I went to hers, and we're sat in our garden having a coffee, and like all of a sudden, my eyes and nose are just like, oh, it's just really bad. And she was like, "Do you want an antihistamine?" I was like, well, it's not going to do anything now, is it? Like, it's like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, what are you talking about? So, but it's a bit of a shame because, like, at this time of year as well, there's a lot of outdoor gigs
Exactly,
and stuff
aye.
like that. And if you're a singer out there, me and Lyndon really feel for you because it's
the worst.
It's not good. It's not good.
I get really itchy mouth
Yeah.
with mine, which is not ideal when you're trying to sing.
No.
But it's not just my eye. My eyes are usually fine. I sometimes have to rub them a bit. But
Yeah.
it's my mouth more than anything else. I get really itchy, man. It's really annoying.
I feel like I have a problem with my eyes because any kind of like pollen, or if it's just really bright, like, or I say even really bright, even if it's not that bright, I have to wear sunnies.
Yeah, like proper sensitivity.
Yeah, like, well, I saw this interview once with what's he called, man, from YouTube, Bono.
Bono, aye.
And he said like the reason he wears sunglasses is because he's got glaucoma.
Yeah.
I feel for the bloke, like, because I think I could, because like the slightest bit of light, I'm like, get me sunnies on now. It could be raining outside, but if it's bright, I'll have me sunnies on. Like,
It's not just because you're a musician; it looks cool.
it definitely helps. I should get some aviators though, shouldn't I? I don't have I don't know if I suit aviators. They're like the cool.
Yeah, you get aviators.
what I've got,
Lynn's
yeah.
an aviator bloke.
I don't know what my class does. How the fuck did we get onto this topic? Like,
the
what
ones, the ones you've got are club masters.
All right.
See, I know that.
All right. The connoisseur,
Yes,
a doctor and a sunglasses expert.
I am. Yes.
Yeah. Fair enough.
He's a double threat.
Aye. Double agent. Aye. For the next section, gentlemen, I'm going to get me guitar out because I need it for the
Thank
next
God
section.
that sentence ended
All
like
right.
that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So just give me 2 seconds. You can leave this in.
Yes.
It'll be interesting. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, Jack's now moving across the room to get his guitar out.
Yeah.
Case is open.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
No, we're not having Wonderwall.
Guitar in
I actually don't have a
hands.
second- No, it doesn't matter. I don't need one. I need my cowboy.
You could get one from the Caterpillar Cup.
No. This is really interesting for the listeners.
It's actually a plant pot.
Is it a plant pot?
It is. Small
Is
plants.
it from M&S by any chance?
It may be.
I need this for one chord. Are you ready? Okay, this is the next section of the podcast. You ready?
Yeah.
What are you listening to? Right, so what have you been listening to this week?
Oh yeah.
We'll have that every week, don't you worry. We'll keep that in. What have you been listening to?
Listening to? Oh God, loads of stuff. You got anything exciting you've been listening to?
I'm gonna have to
You
get
listen to more
Spotify-
new artists than
I'm
me.
gonna have to get my Spotify up. I mean, I've been listening to a lot of Harry Styles' new album. I don't know if yous have been.
So I've had it on in the car. It's all right. It's not my thing, but I can appreciate it.
Because she went to go and see him, didn't she?
Well, she saw him on a screen.
Ah,
She didn't see him, like, you know.
It was
well,
at
did
Old
she? But
Trafford,
he was
wasn't
about year big.
Nah, she said she was that far back and that small that she like said she saw him like twice the whole gig. She said she had a good time though. She said she said her friend, if her friend's listening, I'm really sorry. But her friend was like, "Oh, we should get these matching T-shirts," and Soph was like, "Oh yeah, we should get these matching T-shirts," and they did, and she said they were like 30 quid each or something. She was like,
God.
I'll never wear it again. I don't know why I did that. So, She said she had a good time though. She
Well,
likes a bit of Harry. She was like massively into like, you know, One Direction when she was
Oh,
you know,
sure.
when she was, you know, 21. So
But music I've been listening to. I've been listening to and I think I've shown you before, Josiah and the Bonnevilles. Can you remember? I've shown you. Like, country
might
artists
have.
from America.
oh, is it the TikTok you tagged me in?
Yeah, was it? Oh no, hang on. I don't know if it was. Anyway, I've been listening to his new record, but he's been doing these folk versions of songs. I don't know if you saw the
Okay.
Run Up That Hill one I shared.
Right. Okay.
The folk, that's him, and he's really
What's
cool.
he called again?
Josiah and the Bonnevilles.
All right, check them out. It's
Very cool.
We can't really play anything on here because obviously this is a free public domain type thing, and we can't really be. We'll be done for I can't talk, Lyndon. We'll be done for copyright. Fuck me.
I'm not editing that out.
No, you don't have to. It's fine. But we can't play anybody music because
So
even though I
yeah,
literally
yeah.
just played the Chris Stapleton intro to introduce this
That's
section,
obvious.
but it's fine. Chris, if you're listening, would love to have you on. So no, we'll have to check him out. I do remember you tagging us in something, but it might have been a little bit of a
Well,
while
it was a
ago,
tiny bit a
but-
while ago. But if you just have to take word for it or go and have a listen.
I'll have to have a look. I've been listening to probably my favourite artist right now recently because I'm going to see her on Thursday and I can't fucking wait. She's called Morgan Wade. She's unreal. She's a country artist from, I think she's from Nashville. I'm not sure. But
right.
we're going up to Glasgow to see her on Thursday. She's got an album called Reckless and it's amazing. It's so good. It's kind of like everything I want to do in music because it's kind of like it's country but it's like really commercial and poppy and it's got like really great guitar in it, the vocals are amazing, harmonies and all that kind of stuff, and she's just class. Like
You
really,
love a bit
really-
of that, don't you?
she's
Pop
mint.
country.
Absolutely, yeah. She's covered in tattoos. She's great.
Oh, is that one
Yeah,
you
yeah.
shared? Oh, is it her?
Very much Jack's type.
Yes. Sorry, Soph, if you're listening. I do apologise. But yeah, I can't wait to go see her. Like,
It was cool, that song you shared. Like, it is.
Oh, she's great.
Cool
like
stuff.
it has that. Oh, sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry,
From your toes just on the.
sorry. I've just like broke Scott's foot on my guitar case. But yeah, it's kind of that blend of like being pop and commercial, but like having like that country twang. Which, to be
Yeah,
fair,
yeah.
a lot of country music is going that way. But I love it. It's great. So I can't wait to go see her. Like, so.
That'd be cool.
What about yourself? Have you listened? Or have you just listened to
Well,
like?
Have you had time to think?
New stuff. I don't listen to much new stuff.
Doesn't have to be new. Just
No,
whatever you've been
no.
listening to this week.
Well, my music taste doesn't extend past 1985, so
Okay.
whatever's on in the car normally.
Right.
Lots of ELO. I like ELO.
Yeah.
Bowie, Queen, classic 70s and 80s pop and rock.
I think maybe what we should possibly do is for next time is like we should all listen to like an album, like, and not tell each other, and then this can be part of the section where it'd be like, oh, I've been listening to this album this week, and you know, did you know about this, and blah 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 blah, you know. So a bit behind the scenes for you
Could
there,
do,
folks,
aye.
because like
Okay.
we haven't prepared really. We were just literally before
Well,
we
there's no
started.
evidence of that. It's
be-
fine. No
before
one-
we
no one knows.
Before we started, Lyndon was like, right, what do we do? Do we just start? And I was like, yeah, just start. It'll be fine. And then like it was like, we've planned nothing. So that's the beauty of it, though. It's like, you know,
Definitely.
it's off the cuff, real, unprepared. Have no idea what we're going to say next. So,
Also slightly worrying.
well, yeah, fair enough. So, music news. This is a new section. In music news, Eurovision is being hosted in England next year. Have you heard about this?
There is talks.
Oh,
yes.
it's not definite, is it? But they're planning on trying to get it set in the
Yeah,
UK.
the I forgot what they're called. The European channel people. Yeah, they've been talking with the BBC, so could be. I'd be well up for it to be here.
It'd be cool, like, I think.
But I think they want to try and host it in Ukraine if they can.
Yeah.
But, so it takes so long to prepare that they'd have to start sort of now.
And they can't really
And
do
they
that
can't
right now.
really do that at the moment.
No. It's a shame. I mean, I remember I caught the end of it when it was on and when they won. And I did think to myself, how are they going to do that? Because, you know, with the current situation, we're in 2022 at the minute, and obviously, if you're listening to this in like 10 years' time, hey, that's pretty cool, isn't it? If you're listening to this in 10 years' time, at the minute, there has been, is it still going on? There's a war in Ukraine.
Yeah.
It's still going on.
Oh, yes.
So
Definitely.
So yeah, there's talks about it being in England, which is kind of cool. I think like it'd be really funny if we had like a really obscure metal artist for our
Yeah, they've won before.
Yeah.
They've tried
Finland
stuff.
won.
yeah.
With
Was it Italy one
Lordi.
Is it Italy one year? Italy did it as well, or was that who I'm thinking of?
Lordi did Hard Rock Hallelujah.
Oh,
And
that might have
they
been
won. So yeah, the sort of hard death metal can
Yeah.
win.
I think it'd be
If you
great.
didn't know, Jack, Lyndon is right into Eurovision.
I am a big
He's
Eurovision fan.
massive
Really?
I am.
Eurovision fan.
This is a great topic for you. Then this is
He is,
fabulous.
he's massive.
I am a big Eurovision
Like when
fan.
we were at uni, you had a right conversation with one of the tutors, didn't you?
I did. One of the tutors was very into Eurovision.
So do you follow it all year or just when it's on?
Just
or
when
is
it's
it kind
on.
of just when it's on?
Yeah, I'm not that much of a diehard
Okay.
fan. I'm not following it now.
No.
But like when it comes to like May time, when it like the month that it is in,
Yeah.
then I'm interested.
Yeah.
Did
Fair
that-
enough.
did
Because
have
they do
an
some good music.
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah,
the
yeah.
countries do some great songs. And you find some good artists.
Do they have an app, Eurovision? Like where you can get like news updates or like who's rumoured
I
to
want
be
to
the
say
next
yeah. I don't
artist or
have it
whatever.
if it exists, but
You don't.
I'll say
You should
yes.
have a look
Yeah.
because I reckon that's something you'd
I just on
want.
Twitter for all of May, just being like,
Oh, it's great.
Aye, Twitter.
yeah, fair enough.
Some good music. As I say, some good music comes out. I mean, it's quite cheesy and
It's got to be the, wasn't it?
yeah. It's a good night. It's just a good laugh and
Yeah.
you know.
All I can think about when I think about Eurovision though is that Father Ted episode. Like, it's,
Oh,
it's
yes.
so funny, man. In fact, in Sophie's band, they because they're an Irish band, they often get asked to play My Lovely Horse, and
I
they
love it so
they
much.
do it as well. It's so funny, man. Like, here, that we've got to do that for Lime Tree.
We could do, couldn't we?
I think we should. I
I'm
think it'll
coming
be
down
great.
in favour of
We'll,
no.
we'll get Sophie in to do it with her.
That'd be great, man. Can you imagine? Gotta lose that sax solo. So the artist that you mentioned before, what was he called?
Josiah and the Bonnevilles.
So he's recently done a version of Running Up That Hill. Now, for those of you who are older than, 25, 30, 40, you'll know that that was a big hit for Kate Bush back in the day.
Yep. Do you know who produced that? David Gilmour
Did he?
from Pink Floyd.
Really?
Yeah, well,
I did not know
I don't
that.
know if he actually produced it, but he helped get our career up and running.
Okay. I could see that.
Did
She
not know
featured
that.
on quite a bit of his solo records,
Right.
I think. I'm pretty sure. Anyway,
Probably.
Yes.
But the reason we bring it up is because there has been a massive resurgence with that song because of Stranger Things. And it's really funny because it's like everybody who watches Stranger Things now, all the kids in that are like, oh, have you heard this new song by Kate Bush? And like, I used to go to college. Actually, no, I didn't go to college with her, but because I think she left by the time I joined. But Courtney Dixon, have you ever
Oh,
met,
yeah, I
met
heard
Courtney?
of her.
Now, she's massively into Kate Bush, and she used to do that song. So that's the first time I heard it when I was like, a teenager sort of thing. And obviously, I knew that it was a much older song.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of Stranger Things, it's
Had a
just
resurgence.
yeah, it's really
It's
really
massive,
strange,
isn't it?
It's all
Definitely.
over, TikTok and all the kids apps and stuff, But we were just saying that we're going to cover it at some point and totally get on that hype
We've
train.
got
Like,
to,
yeah.
haven't we?
aye,
I think it's good though that TV shows can do that now. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, especially Stranger Things, because like even the first season stuff,
Yeah.
they were playing like the Police and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like all the 80s classics, and they're bringing back to like young people who are watching it now
Yeah.
will have this great music.
I got when the third season came out, I bought the vinyl, and it but.
Oh, you were saying
Because it was they do two. I think they do one which is all the like ambient original
Like the score
pieces.
stuff.
Yeah, the score
The
stuff.
soundtrack.
That's what I
Yeah.
meant. Yeah, and then the other one, which is the one I've got, is where it's like all the songs from it.
Yes.
And in season 3, like my favorite one was Madonna, Material Girl.
Oh,
Material
yes.
is it Material Girl or Material Girl? Yeah. And again, like I think there was a similar effect with that when that came out because it was like, oh no, what was the one in season 3? It was Turn Around.
Oh, God,
Tell me what you see. That became massive
What's
again.
it called?
No.
Never-ending Story.
Never-ending Story.
But I can't remember who it's by. But that
Good song.
That went crazy as well. When I got the vinyl as well, it had that like so it had like all the songs that were in the show.
Did it do
And
it in the order that they win the show as well?
Oh, I don't know. It might have. I'm
have,
not
might
sure. But then you got like an extra 45 single, and it was really cool because the 45 single was Dusty's version of Neverending
that's cool.
Story. But
Oh,
then,
really?
but the B side was it reversed as if you were in the upside down.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That is cool.
Stranger Things fans will get that reference.
Was it
so.
a coloured record as well, or was it like?
It was actually. It was like a lovely. like dark greeny kind of color.
Oh, was it?
It was nice, yeah. And it was kind of like like a not solid color either. It was kind of like
Slightly opaque.
I was just
Aye.
opaque, aye.
yeah. I couldn't think of the word, but yes, see through.
See-through.
That'll do.
But the best example I think of a song resurgence in film and TV, in my opinion, is probably Bohemian Rhapsody. Because when it was in Wayne's World,
Yeah.
it was obviously famous way before that, like 20 years before that. And then Wayne's World came out in 91 or 92, I think. And obviously there's that famous scene when they're in the car and they're bopping their heads and stuff. And it went to number one again, just out of nowhere.
Well, yeah, Kate Bush is number one at the minute.
She is, yes.
Crazy.
The amount of money she must be making right
She's
now.
had the...
'Cause she owns all of our songs as well.
Yes.
She-
Which is rare.
The amount of money she'll be...
Well, it was
should be on right now.
it was in the news that it holds the record now for the longest song to get to number one. Because it never got number
never
one.
got
It came
number
out.
one.
It's taken 37 years to get to number one.
Wow.
And now it's number one. So she's got number one record with it, which is
It's pretty
mental,
crazy.
but
Yeah.
it's a great song.
all thanks to Stranger Things.
It's a great
That's
album.
amazing.
The
that.
whole album's great.
Oh, aye, it is, isn't it?
Have you heard?
Cloudbusting's a great song.
There's a song on it. Do you know the album fairly well? Yeah, because I remember in college we God, this is a fucking long story. I do apologise. We were in the control room of a studio in college, and the lecturer wanted to demonstrate what it would be like. Because you can listen to music on your phone or whatever, but like when you're like in front of monitors, like he wanted to demonstrate like how that would sound if you sat in the middle, and it's like the perfect
The sweet spot.
the sweet spot. Yeah,
That's the word.
and he was like, I think a couple of the students chose, some songs or whatever, and he went, I'm going to choose this one, and it was a Kate Bush song. I can't remember the name of it.
Was it called Woman's Work?
Oh, I don't know. I'll tell you what it goes
Is
like.
that on that album? It is, isn't it?
And my favourite fact about it, and then we'll have to find out what the title is because I don't know what it is. But it starts off with this really ominous voice going, "Wake up," right? And then it just fucking goes off on this really weird tangent, as a lot of our songs does. And it turns out the voice on it is the guy who plays Hagrid in Harry Potter.
Really?
Robbie Coltrane.
Yeah,
Wow.
Go on.
That's...
wake up.
How the hell did that... How...
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. I just remember
That's cool.
because I think he put on like a couple of Pink Floyd songs because obviously they're like studio and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, "Oh, you listen to this one?" I was like, "Wake up!" And I was like, "All right, okay." So I can't remember what the song's called, like, but
Woman's Work, that's a great song, though. But just on the topic of Kate Bush, the David Gilmour actually helped get a career off the ground. Where I think it was something to do with demos or whatever.
Right.
He got Kate Bush's demos and he helped produce the first album. But we're talking about Run Up That Hill.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't work on that album, like
Oh,
just the first one. But it's
Cool.
pretty cool.
She's got a connection to David Gilmour.
I know.
That's quite cool. I know she's done a lot of work with Peter Gabriel. I'm a massive fan of Peter Gabriel, and she did. What song was it? Games Without Frontiers,
Oh yes,
which is a great song. But the Je Sans Frontières bit at the start is Kate Bush singing, which is very cool.
so the name of that song that has Hagrid at the beginning is "Waking the Witch," and it is on the album with "Run Up That Hill." So as this is the second episode, and you haven't really learned that much about us in terms of because the first episode we had a guest on and we were kind of primarily talking to Jack Harvey from the Houndcats and directing all the questions at him. I thought would kind of bounce off one of the questions that we asked Jack last time about gigs and stuff, because we asked our worst and best gigging experiences. But I thought would flip the question a little bit and say the best and worst gig you've been to. Yeah?
Okay.
So, because, I'll give you a minute to think, because, as musicians and music lovers, we go to a lot of gigs. Very fortunate to have various amounts of, various, an array of venues. Mm-hmm. Pick one of those, Lyndon. An array of venues around the Northeast. And we've been to lots of gigs. So, Scott.
me.
Best and worst gig you've been to?
Best gig would probably be Red Rum Club at Riverside, Newcastle.
Nice.
That was unreal. You
Yeah.
were there as well.
I
Lyndon,
was.
weren't
I
you?
went as well.
We've seen them twice now, isn't it? Twice, or 3 times?
Twice.
But it was just the atmosphere was incredible.
Yeah.
It was packed out. We were on the balcony where we stood. It was just absolutely mint.
Yeah.
It was. Another probably, just to get a second one in there, the Sam Fender at the Shipping Forecast in Liverpool when I was down there for uni.
Right.
Just seeing him, because it's quite a small venue, so getting to see him before he did the arena and things like that, I was just mint.
Being like 10 foot away
Well,
from
exactly.
him.
And that was when Deanie's guitarist had broke his foot, so he wasn't actually on the tour. And Joe, who's now he does the keyboard parts and some
Yes.
guitar, he stepped in as a dep on guitar.
Yeah.
And then from then he joined the band. So that
I
was
heard that,
That
yeah.
was pretty cool to witness as well. But I think they're probably my best, the most favourite gigs. Worst?
Should we do you want to do
All around best
all
first.
best and then all worst?
Yeah.
Okay, best.
Okay, best. I agree with Scott that the Red Room Club one was good. The sound was the best sound we've ever heard. It was done
Yes.
by Chris Taylor, who used to own Parr Street Studios,
Ah, cracking.
and is now starting another studio somewhere.
Yes.
But he's a fantastic mixer and engineer. He's a producer. He's great. But best gig, just because of who they were, ELO. I went to see ELO at the Metal Radio.
Right.
And just because
Yeah.
he was there and I could see him with my own eyes and hear him with my own ears.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I would definitely go back to see him.
Was that fairly recently?
We were at uni at the time because
Okay.
I drove back from Liverpool to Newcastle to go.
Oh, yes,
see
you
him.
did,
I
didn't you?
Right.
So 2018, I want to say.
And was it geet expensive?
No, they're about 70 quid.
Oh, okay, okay.
This wasn't that bad. We were sort of on the side,
Yeah.
towards the back, but it was great.
Yeah.
We'd definitely go back.
Seeing your hero and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like my musical idol.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet him one day, but
Yeah.
he lives in California, so that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Wait, I didn't actually realise that he was from Birmingham.
Yes.
South End?
Because I went there recently in February, and they've got like the star on the floor.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, because there's the Black Sabbath bench, and then there's his star, and it's
Yeah.
like it's quite
I think most of the band are from.
right.
I think is Roy Wood a Brummie? I think
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
lead singer or Wizard
Oh, I don't know.
because he was in ELO for
Yeah, he
a
was
few
on-
months. He wasn't in long
Right.
because he was in a band The Move, and then Jeff Lynne joined The Move, and then they all did the ELO stuff because
Right.
they wanted sort of orchestral pieces
Yeah.
in it, and then Roy Wood left, and then
Right.
it was up to Jeff to carry on. But I think they were all Brummies.
Okay. Fair enough.
I had to fact check myself on that. I might be wrong on that, but
Yeah.
most of them were Brummies.
Lots of facts. Fake news, everyone.
Yes.
Aye, fair enough.
But, yourself?
Do you know, I asked the question and now I actually don't have an answer because
You don't have an
there's a few. No, actually, my favourite was probably seeing Bryan Adams at what it's now known as the Liverpool M&S Arena.
The Echo Arena.
It was the Echo.
What
yeah.
was the Echo?
What was the Echo?
Marks and Spencer's. It's funny. Anyway,
That's weird.
It's the
like,
M&S
Yeah,
Bank
mental.
Arena,
It is,
isn't
yeah.
it?
It's
It's
not
even
sponsored by the
M&S,
bank
it's
as
the
well.
bank.
yeah. And the reason it was so good was because it was just so last minute. I went to go see Sophie when we weren't going out, when we were just friends. This is like 2019, I think, because we were just friends at the time, and she was living in Liverpool. Ironically, the same time you guys were, which is really funny.
I know, it's mental, isn't it?
For uni as well.
That's weird. I think that we could have passed each other in the street
You
at
probably
some point.
did. Especially if you were going to gigs and that kind of thing. I mean, it's a big city, but you would have went to the same places at some point. I'm assuming, like
I
for
should
sure.
be in the cavern. It's like
Yeah,
she could have been in there at the same time as
When
us.
we were
Really weird.
playing.
Oh, when we were playing, aye.
yeah,
That'd be
absolutely.
weird.
So yeah, I went to go see her when we were friends and for like a weekend sort of thing. And do apologise, just knocking my guitar. And Bryan Adams was playing on the Sunday, and I knew he was playing, and I was like, well, I didn't have tickets, so I thought, well, let's just have a laugh. Let's just go to the box office and we'll just have a look, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, have you got 2 tickets for tomorrow night at Bryan? And he was like, aye, 10 rows from the front, all right? I was like, aye, go on then. So we bought the tickets, and it got way better because at home, at Newcastle Arena, I've noticed that if it's a seating gig, and you're caught standing in the aisles, you'll get told to go back to your seat.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't care at Liverpool, so after the first song, we saw these people sort of go down, and we were like, well, let's just go down, even if it's just for a number. We'll get sort of told to go back, and we stood at the barrier for the whole gig, and it was just unbelievable. Like Bryan Adams and Keith Scott right in front of us, and it was just absolutely epic. He's probably my favorite artist, so it's like, he was just absolutely insane. Keith Scott's like probably one of my guitar heroes. And
Good guitarist.
and he was like sort of like we're on the side where Keith was as well. And when he was doing he does quite a bit of slide stuff. So when he was doing all these like slide solos and that, I was just like, oh, it was great. I'd probably go that's my best. There's probably other ones that have been really good.
Some honourable mentions.
Honourable mentions for me would be probably the last time I saw Iron Maiden, cause
Where was that?
the arena. I've seen them a few times, but I've seen them at the arena like 3 times, I think. And no, yes, 3 times, and I've seen them once at Download Festival, which was okay, but because it was like a festival. But last time I saw Maiden was really good. They were really good actually, and it was almost like a greatest hits tour. So like it was class. That would probably be an honorable mention. So worst gigs you've been to.
Oh.
Now, us as music fans, it's difficult for us to maybe
Well, it is
have
because
that.
you wouldn't go to a gig
If you didn't like them.
if you didn't like the artist. Unless it was like multiple artists on a bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So the only way you can really say whether it was the worst is the sound, I suppose, and
The crowd.
the atmosphere, maybe. Or we could talk. Yes, all 3 of us went, and Sophie went to go see James Bay recently.
Yeah.
Could that be there?
I've blocked that from my mind. To be
James
fair.
was wicked as a performer, as the
Yeah.
band performing. It was really good. But
Do you know, as of
we
recently,
couldn't
he
hear.
became one of my heroes.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I think he's such an amazing artist.
He is like.
But it
Jack's
was,
now going to get a hat.
You'd have to get one.
I think I could rock a
I
hat.
reckon
Definitely.
you'd rock a hat. As long as it's not a fez. I reckon you'd rock the
I don't
hat.
think James wears fair.
You know
does
the
he?
one he wears in A Star Is Born. I'd want one of them. It's like a
Oh, right.
like
A Stetson.
Stetson, yeah.
it's like a small Stetson. It's more like a fedora, but like not. I've done my research. You see,
Of course you have. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's already got one.
I reckon you've got a hat. You must have hats.
it's in my basket on ASOS right now, but I haven't
Is
bought
it?
it yet.
Just get it. You'll have to get
well,
it.
it's a commitment though, isn't it? Because like you know what the problem with a hat is, right? the problem is if you wear it and feel self-conscious, people are going to look at you and go, "Oh, what's he wearing that hat for?" Because you kind of like are, for want of a better word, reeking of self-conscious energy, right? But if you wear a hat and you're like rocking it and like, you know, thinking you look cool, people are going to go, "Hey, cool hat, man." You know what I mean?
Definitely,
So
aye.
you've got to, if you're going to wear a hat, you've got to rock the look and you've got to like, you know, go all in. It's like, you know, wearing, I don't know, lycra or like leather pants or something, you know, unless you're rocking it.
Jack's now going to get leather pants.
No, that's a step too far for me. Like, I think I'd just be like Ross and Friends. Like, it wouldn't work out. I like how all of our references are like just film and TV shows. Anyway, so what we're talking about, James Bay.
James Bay, yeah.
Unbelievable musician. The band were amazing.
There's the word.
Sophie's favourite drummer was on the drums, Donovan Hepburn. He was awesome. The crowd, Middlesbrough,
were dreadful.
you shit.
Yeah,
You were
it
absolutely
was
dreadful.
dreadful, like.
So first point would be, are we all in agreement that's probably the worst
I
gig?
think that might be
Yeah.
the worst gig, yeah.
I can't think of anything else that springs to mind.
That's
so.
that's the one that comes to my head for sure.
And we all experienced it
We did?
Yeah,
all together.
we shouldn't have. It was terrible.
No.
But honestly, the problem was well, 2 things in my opinion was that we were kind of we didn't necessarily get there late. Just it was a small venue and there was a massive queue.
They definitely oversold tickets.
There was
didn't
far
they?
too many people there for the size of the venue,
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely.
If you've got to be up the stairs and round the back
Yeah.
of the sound desk where you can't see, there's too many people in there.
Yeah,
What's it called? Is it Empire?
Middlesbrough Empire.
Empire.
Yeah,
That's just in case anyone was
Lovely
wondering what
building.
venue.
I reckon if we were in the middle, it would have been great.
Definitely.
yeah. I mean, it's a nice venue. Just think everything wasn't handled as best it could have been. Perhaps
at all.
That's our lawyer answer.
Yeah.
Like, Your Honour. But yeah, like the problem for me was that he came on, and like 400, 500 phones went up in the air, and it just kind of like ruined it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I know it sounds a little bit like hippy dippy, but like when you're at a gig, you for me, I want to be in the moment and kind of like experiencing it firsthand, and you're there to watch the band. You're not there to watch it through your phone.
Definitely.
So all these phones go up, and then we were next to this lass and her daughter, I think. And fuck me, honestly, it was awful. I could tell you the whole life story right now, right?
Talking all the way through.
It was cheaper for them to stay in the Premier Inn over the road than get a taxi from Durham, because they're from Durham, you see.
Oh,
And,
you know that. You would know that.
Yeah. And the Premier Inn was only 36 quid cheaper than a taxi.
Bargain.
Honestly, we love James. Well, fucking turn around and watch him then, because honestly. But yes, that was probably the worst one for me. Speaking of the phone thing, though, this kind of brings it a little bit full circle here. I went to see Bryan Adams a few weeks ago. And
Do you like Bryan Adams?
I fucking love
He's
Bryan
not mentioned
Adams.
it.
He hasn't.
No, I love
and you
Bryan.
haven't mentioned ELO either.
No, I don't like ELO, obviously.
No. Jeff who? But at Bryan, we it was weird as well, because like it was like on the floor, it was half standing and then half seating. So
Right.
like the seats kind of started halfway down. And we went at the standing bit, and we were literally like, there was somebody at the barrier and then we were behind them. And before the gig, the security guards came past and they sort of like said to everybody, they were like, everyone in the first 4 rows, you're not allowed to film.
All right.
Don't have your camera. If you're caught with your camera, it'll be taken off you. And everyone sort of got sneaky videos and stuff. But I loved it. I thought, what a great idea. Because like the people at the front are the big fans. They want to watch.
exactly.
They want to watch the gig. And
Do you reckon that's
Fair play.
something Bryan has asked
Yeah.
for crew to do?
Yeah.
Because he knows that people are going to pay more, that are bigger fans, and they want to be there to listen to music rather than watch it through a phone screen. So some people that buy there just to video it and sort of buy tickets to video it, they're not like
I agree.
getting in
Yeah.
the way of other people wanting to watch his performance.
The problem with Bryan is that well, I say with Bryan, it's not really his problem. A lot of the people at that gig left after Summer of '69.
Yes, you were saying,
Including the person stood in front of me, actually.
it was a bit like with the James gig when James
Yep.
Bay, when he did all of his popular songs, and then after that, everyone just started talking.
James did this amazing solo in the middle of When We Were on Fire, which is a great song.
Oh yes, that was.
and he
wicked,
did
wasn't
this unreal solo. It was so good. Everyone was talking,
it? Yeah,
and it was just like, I just didn't get it. Like, why go to? It'd be like going to the cinema and having a chat. Why would you do that?
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's the same thing. In fact, more so with a gig, because, you could go to the cinema in an hour's time and see the same movie, but you're not going to see the same artist again unless you're traveling down the road, or it's the year after,
the next
or
gig, yeah.
whatever. So, I don't know. I think
that's a good point.
there's definitely a thing for me with like a gig where like, it sounds really cliche and corny and stuff, but like, it's a moment in time that you should relish and live in, and not, take for granted, I guess. Because like, you said that like when you went to see Sam Fender the other week, that like it was a really special night because it was like his hometown gig and all that kind of stuff. And like you mentioned that like it was such a special evening.
It was, yeah,
sort of
very
thing.
special.
I bet there's a lot of people there who perhaps didn't have that view and were videoing it and just thought of it as another night. But I think maybe because we're musicians, I don't know. For me, it's more
I
like,
think that's what it is,
for me, it's more
Musicians,
like,
it
this is something I want to remember. You know what I mean?
and it's people that will be musicians and like looking at it as an art rather than
exactly, yeah.
pop
Yes.
culture
Yeah.
or trend.
Yeah.
It's because we see it as an art and the emotion and just everything about it, like from that side.
Yeah.
You see it from that perspective rather than the culture side of it. But I think that's what it is.
There's something in it for sure. I think like, because even when like, you go to like a local gig, like a pub gig, or even seeing you guys, like I wasn't on my phone the whole fucking time. You know what I mean? I was watching the gig. You know what I mean? I mean, me and Soph had a mint time when we came to see us at the Millstone, because it was
Yeah.
like, it's, well, for one, it's nice not
to be playing.
but like it was like we were actually watching because we were enjoying it, and it, I don't know. I think maybe live music, unfortunately, in some circles, is a slight lost art form.
Definitely.
And this is a slightly deeper topic than what's your favorite gig like, but it's unfortunately the reality of our society, I think, perhaps.
Yeah.
But I hope you've enjoyed the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. This has been the Lime Tree Sessions podcast. This is episode 2. We'll probably call this the reality of our social
I think that's a good title.
Reality check.
reality check. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll probably be back next week in your ears, talking more shite about